weekends, that time we all look forward to. But ever think that for some businesses, those days might actually be, well, a bit of a blind spot?
Yeah, a huge missed opportunity, potentially.
Exactly. So today we're doing a deep dive into how one specific industry gyms can actually flip that, turn those quiet weekends into, well, their strongest days.
Right. And honestly, the ideas here, they go way beyond just fitness centers. We're drawing from this really insightful white paper. It's called Weekends versus Strong Ends, Transforming Your Gym's Weekends into Revenue Powerhouses. It's by jthomas.
And this isn't just theory, is it?
No, not at all. It's really positioned as a practical blueprint, something gym owners, operators, anyone really can use. Our mission here is to pull out those core strategies, the actionable stuff.
Stuff that, maybe any business could adapt if they have their own version of a weekend.
Precisely. How to capitalize when things usually slow down.
Okay, so let's dig in. The fundamental idea, right, is that weekends aren't downtime for potential customers. They're actually prime time.
Seems obvious when you say it like that. People are off work.
Yeah, families have time together. People actually have the mental space to make bigger decisions they might put off all week.
But the paper points out this common trap, especially for gyms. They often run with, minimal staff, maybe lower expectations for Saturday and Sunday.
It's almost counterintuitive, isn't it? Like understaffing a shop during the holiday rush.
Exactly. So why does this happen? Thomas suggests it often comes down to a lack of proactive planning, which brings us to the first big strategy.
Okay, what's that?
It's about getting ahead of the weekend, midweek. He calls it the Wednesday game plan.
Wednesday. Interesting. Not Friday afternoon?
Nope, Wednesday evening. The paper details this weekend blast-off meeting. Picture the team gathering specifically focused on the upcoming weekend.
So what happens in this meeting?
Well, they set individual goals, sales targets, appointments booked. They review any special events or promotions planned for that weekend. And this is important. They announce the incentives for the weekend.
Ah, the motivation piece.
Right. And finally, everyone gets clear roles and time blocks assigned. No ambiguity about who's doing what and when.
So you're building that intention, that focus early. The weekend doesn't just sneak up on you.
Exactly. And it's not just that one meeting. There are also these Thursday to Sunday touch points.
Okay, tell me about those. More meetings.
Sort of, but quicker.
Yeah.
Like a check-in for the main sales or production staff Thursday midday, and then short team huddles, maybe 10 a.m. and 2 p.m. each day over the weekend.
Just quick sync-ups.
Yeah, keep everyone aligned, accountable, maintain that energy. It prevents that mid-weekend slump. You could see how any team could use that kind of regular focus check-in.
Definitely. Okay, so you've got the plan laid out by Wednesday, reinforced daily. But how do you get the team genuinely excited to hit those goals?
That leads right into the second strategy, incentivizing weekend success.
Money talks.
Sometimes. But Thomas argues for mixing it up. He talks about a rotating system. So one week it might be a cash bonus, say $200 for the top manager. The next week, maybe it's recognition, a top weekend producer certificate, public praise. Then it'd be tangible prizes, movie tickets, dinner out.
And why rotate? Why not just stick with cash?
Because different things motivate different people, right? Some thrive on recognition. Others might really want that specific prize. Rotating keeps it fresh, keeps engagement higher across the board. It prevents it from just becoming, expected.
That makes a lot of sense. It taps into different drivers. You could see that working in, well, almost any team setting.
For sure. Sales teams, project teams, you name it.
All right, so the team's planned and motivated. How do you actually get more people through the door on these weekends? Strategy 3 tackles that.
Yes. Create energy with events, specifically things like fitness fairs.
Fitness fairs, okay.
The paper suggests using maybe the second and last weekends of the month for these, and the key is making them accessible, free, or very low cost to attend.
And these aren't just like gym tours with some balloons.
No, much more interactive. The idea is to invite other local businesses, think a smoothie place, a chiropractor, maybe a local sportswear shop. They set up their own tables or booths.
Ah, creating a mini expo feel, a community event.
Exactly. And to boost the energy, they suggest doing prize drawings frequently, like every 15 minutes, little things, leading up to a bigger grand prize draw later in the day, say 5 p.m.
Keeps people sticking around, creates buzz. How do you promote these?
Good question. The paper mentions using the gym's PA system, local flyers, but also heavily leveraging social media. And importantly, promoting the vendors who are participating.
Right, so you tap into their audiences too.
Precisely. You're borrowing their reach, cross-promoting. It gets the word out much wider.
That's smart. Okay, so you've got people coming to the event. Strategy 4 is about turning that interest into action. Smart weekend giveaways.
Yeah, these are the little nudges, the tactical incentives to get people to take the next step right then.
Like,
Well, simple stuff. Maybe a lottery ticket just for showing up to the fair. But maybe 5 lottery tickets if you sign up for a membership that day.
okay, small cost, perceived value.
Right. Or maybe 2 free movie passes if you bring a qualified guest, someone who might actually join. Or entries into a separate prize draw for sponsoring guests who tour.
And there was a tip about getting these prizes without spending much, wasn't there?
Yes, a really clever one. Partner with those local businesses participating in the fairs. Offer them some advertising in your gym, maybe a banner, social media posts, in exchange for them providing some of the prizes.
Ah, a trade-out. Win-win.
Exactly. Cost-effective marketing and prize sourcing rolled into one.
Very neat. Now, running all this smoothly, especially on a busy weekend, seems like it could get chaotic. Strategy 5 is about tech.
Yes, tech-driven weekend workflow, using technology to streamline everything. Think CRM systems, automation. You can pre-schedule follow-up emails or texts for leads generated during the week, confirm appointments automatically. Platforms like Trainerize, Gym Sales, HubSpot get mentioned as examples.
Reducing manual work, making sure follow-up happens.
Definitely. And things like auto-texting appointment reminders, maybe the day before in the morning, of that can seriously cut down on no-shows. That's useful for any appointment-based business.
True. What about capturing leads at the events? Pen and paper.
You can, but tech is better. Using online guest registration forms embedded on social media or linked via QR codes on flyers makes signing up easy beforehand.
Okay.
And at the event itself. Tablet check-in stations. Faster, looks more professional, and you can set it up to instantly trigger a follow-up email with a trial offer or more info.
Instant follow-up. Nice.
Plus, using real-time dashboards lets managers see key metrics instantly. Appointments booked, show rates, conversions. You see what's working or not working right away.
Okay, that covers the operational side. Strategy 6 feels a bit different. Expect the best, set the tone. More about mindset.
Absolutely. It sounds simple, almost cliche, but the paper argues it's crucial. It's about fostering a genuine belief within the whole team that weekends are the best days for sales and engagement.
So not just accepting them as slow days.
Right. Thomas suggests actually setting higher expectations. Maybe even doubling the usual weekend appointment goals. Visualize success, talk about weekends as peak opportunities, and train the team with that mindset.
That energy probably carries over to potential members too.
You bet. Attitude is contagious, which leads directly into strategy 7, the weekend closeout strategy.
Okay, this is about sealing the deal.
Essentially, yes, making the most of those interactions when people are there on the weekend. Train your staff, your counselors, to actively try and rebook anyone who missed a tour during the week for a weekend workout or tour.
Be proactive about getting them back in.
And use strong calls to action. Create some urgency with weekend-only perks.
Like what kind of perks?
Could be anything tangible. A free gym t-shirt, a special VIP card, maybe a complimentary personal training session. Or even like vacation vouchers if you partner for those. Something they only get if they join that weekend.
Creates that little bit of FOMO, fear of missing out.
Exactly. Makes the decision feel more immediate.
Now, you mentioned earlier that weekends are family time. Strategy 8 leans into that. Market to families.
Makes total sense for a gym. The paper suggests actively scheduling dual spouse tours, getting both partners in together when they actually have time.
Instead of trying to catch them separately during the week.
Right. And if the gym has childcare, showcase it. Offer demos. Make it easy for parents to see it as a viable option.
What else for families?
Promote family add-on offers, like add a spouse or teen for just 6X or more. And use group fitness classes that are family-friendly to show it's an inclusive place. Again, other businesses could adapt this family discounts, weekend activities targeted at families.
Okay, strategy 9 sounds fun. Let's party, community engagement events. This goes beyond the fitness fairs.
Yeah, it's about creating a consistently vibrant atmosphere. Think bigger, more varied events, open house parties with free fitness testing, maybe some healthy snacks, childcare available.
Get people in just to check things out, low pressure.
Or sports viewing parties if there's a big game. Partnering with local car clubs for a weekend BBQ and car show in the parking lot. Even something simple like a charity car wash run by staff or members.
Using the space, creating buzz.
And don't forget the atmosphere inside. Some simple promotional decor banners, music, maybe balloons. It signals that something special is happening on the weekend, creates energy.
So it feels different from a regular Tuesday visit.
Precisely. Strategy 10 then focuses on making lead generation and conversion systematic. Build a weekend sales machine.
A machine. Okay, what does that involve?
It involves things like having an ongoing pre-register a guest campaign, encouraging current members to bring friends for, say, a free 1-week trial pass they can activate on the weekend.
Leveraging your existing members.
Yeah. Yes. And having really clearly defined roles for everyone working the weekend shift. Counselors are focused on calls, appointments, asking for referrals, but also keeping the place looking sharp.
What about trainers?
Trainers support tours, maybe do quick intro sessions, focus on retaining current members they see. Front desk staff are key smooth check-ins, reminder calls, even using the microphone for announcements during events, building hype.
Everyone has a specific contribution to that weekend energy.
Exactly. Even support staff contribute by keeping things clean, helping with event setup, just adding to the positive vibe.
Okay, almost there. The final piece, Strategy 11, pulls it all together. Game plan, execution, and evaluation.
This loops back to the planning aspect, but also adds the crucial review phase. So Friday is prep day, confirm all those weekend appointments, finalize staffing, print any needed materials, be ready before Saturday morning. But then Monday morning is essential. Sit down and review. Did we hit our goals? How did that fitness fair actually go? Which staff members really shone? What were the roadblocks? What do we need to do differently next weekend?
That constant feedback loop, learning and adjusting.
Absolutely. Without that evaluation, you're just guessing. This makes the whole process iterative and helps you optimize over time.
Wow. Okay, so pulling it all together, the big takeaway seems to be that turning weekends into strong ends isn't just about working harder on Saturdays and Sundays.
Not at all. It's about being strategic, proactive. It's a system involving planning, motivating your team, creating engaging events, using technology smartly, and constantly reviewing what works.
It's a whole different mindset and operational approach.
Right. And like we said at the start, even though this white paper focuses on gyms, these principles are pretty universal.
Any business that has slower periods or wants to capitalize on times when their audience is more available could probably find something useful here.
Definitely. Proactive planning, team incentives, community engagement, smart tech use, evaluation, that applies almost anywhere.
So here's something for you, the listener, to maybe chew on. Think about your own business, or maybe even just a part of your personal life. Is there a weekend there? A time, a day, a period where things typically lag or feel less productive?
Yeah, where do things slow down for you?
And looking back at some of these ideas, maybe the planning, the incentives, the event concept, just one or two of them, how could you potentially adapt one of those strategies to transform your weekend into more of a strong end? A time for unexpected growth or engagement or just getting more done?
It's an interesting question to explore. It could make a real difference.